Take the last train to Clarksville and I'll meet you at the station. I just got a text from Tony Khan with his booking information. And oh no, a casino battle royale. Osprey and Buddy opening with flip-de-doo-dah stuff. And then we have a handshake and Malachi is out the door. Out the door forevermore. Then we've got Lashley and Mark Briscoe, a possible Hurt Syndicate title reign. Oh yes, we need it. We do not need Private Party as champs forevermore. Oh no no no. Oh. A three-way with the women, and we've got Toni Storm still acting like a rookie, even though she's got over a decade under her belt. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Kenny Omega at the end, will he wrestle once again? Oh, yes, he will. And who will his return match in AEW be? Against it will be Brian Cage? Oh, no, no, no. Thanks, guys. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dynamite from the F&M Arena in Clarksdale, Tennessee. Yeah, I had to kind of slow down there because I realized Butchering the Monkeys song took a little bit out of me. What do you want from me? It's after midnight as I'm recording this. That being said, let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. It sounds like I was dumping on quite a bit of the show, but honestly, there were a few decent things. There were a few things I had to leave out because I couldn't figure out a way to rhyme MJF and Jarrett with the lyrics. And there were a couple other things. But that being said, look, I like them running these smaller venues, even though they apparently had maybe 2,500 to 2,700 people. Still, the crowd was a whole lot louder than you might have anticipated. I do want to say really quickly before I get into the rest of the review, my thoughts, every bit of positivity is towards everybody affected by the fires in California, LA, and the environs. Absolutely goddamn heartbreaking. I'm not going to get on a soapbox beyond saying that climate change is a fucking real goddamn event and Mother Nature is goddamn pissed. This is horrifying. It is sad that people are losing their homes, their livelihoods. I hope that everybody can pick up the pieces. They can get back to their lives as normally as possible, and everybody needs to band together and help out if we can. If there's a way to donate, if there's a way for you to go down and help, however, do what you can. Check on your loved ones if they're in the area. And honestly, there's one more thing. I hope that all the animals are safe as well, because that's one thing that gets forgotten about in natural disasters. Animals getting left behind, so hopefully that's not the case. That being said, that's me, giving that, healing thoughts to everybody affected by the fires. So, Will Ospreay gets a big old pop. We have Will Ospreay against Buddy. He calls him Buddy Murphy later. He's actually Buddy Matthews. Referee Rick Knox. And rumor has it, as Adele once said, that Malachi Black has gone from AEW. If that's the case, okay. Maybe it's going to be like Andrade El Olio and he's going to show back up at the Rumble. If that's the case, that's pretty goddamn cool. So look, they did flip-de-doo-dah, flip-de-dee-day, my, flip-pain all day. Look, they are athletic, they can do some good stuff, and the crowd was certainly into it. I'm not going to say I love this match, I hate this match. The Meteor by Buddy, I have no idea how he doesn't shatter his knees. He sends Ospreay to the table, the announcer's table, and then we get an Oscutter for two. We get an elbow for two, we get kicks, we get strikes, we get, like a torture rack variation into a knee into the back of the skull, and then we get a stomp 1-2, Styles Clash for two, but then eventually a hidden blade 1-2-3. Will Ospreay gets the victory. Give it up for Buddy Murphy. Matthews. You guys don't need a leader. Go after Tag Gold or go out on your own. And if you need, somebody, Buddy, I'm your pal. I'm your number one guy. So, yeah, then we go to Wrestle Dynasty Recast. By the way, they had about 16,000 something in the Dome for that event, after having 24,000. I don't know what the ticket prices were, but the fact that, yeah, it's back-to-back events, but they had been running a few years of two-day Wrestle Kingdoms, and they still couldn't get, for Omega, the Bucks, Mercedes Moné, I don't know how much of a draw she would be there, but just, getting all these people to all these AEW people, and you had 8,000 less. That's not good. Okay, Private Party comes out for a celebration. I loved the one with the shaved side on her head, the black-haired one that was in the silver or black dress, whatever, depending on the lighting. My goodness, the blonde wasn't too bad, the one in the red top. But they're celebrating. The Hurt Syndicate show up and basically do a toast, and yeah, they're going to try to take the tag titles. As much as I love Private Party, do not have the Hurt Syndicate lose. They should win the tag titles. It would be a way to reestablish the tag division, because I don't know if... I love Private Party. I'm glad they won, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to, get back to where they should have been like 5 years ago. And 5, maybe even 6 years ago. I really just hope the Hurt Syndicate win. And it's at Revolution. They don't need to rush it. They can nurse it along till then. And that should be where the Hurt Syndicate win. Because otherwise I'm not sure what we're doing here. So Lashley then takes on Mark Briscoe. This was the best thing on the show, in all honesty, as far as work. Mark Briscoe knew his job. He did it well. He hit some good offense. Lashley looked like a beast. He did get his fingers in the eyes and did a post spot. And then hit some kind of senton off the top. MVP yells about cheating. Hits a froggy bow for 2. Or for just actually a 1 count. Should have at least been a 2, but Lashley's like, no, I will not do that. And eventually does get the Hurt Lock on after a little bit. And then Private Party stuff to beat down. So, okay, so far, at least it's serving a purpose. And then the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal, which look... I wasn't offended by this, but I'm sick of Battle Royals. I'm sick of Battle Royals happening in WWE. I didn't like the Rambo, for the Wrestle Kingdom pre-show. I just didn't. Jay White and Hangman Page were 1 and 2. Wheeler Yuta was number 3, so it's automatically bullshit. I get why they had Yuta in it, but I'm sorry, I just can't buy into this noodle-shaped, freaking, wacky waving arm inflatable tube man, armed individual with mushroom hair and a stupid goddamn derp expression on his face. Doesn't even look like he could... He just does not look like he belongs. He just doesn't. I'm trying to be nice, but I cannot take this motherfucker seriously. Anyway, so Rico Tate does a Swerve's house, swerve as it were. And because he took out Swerve with a pair of scissors. Where were the police, by the way? And so then he's there, and Adam Cole is out there, then Garcia at number 6, and Hobbs at number 7. And I might have, if I skipped anybody, I apologize. Strong and Archer come in. Archer then destroys all humans until he gets to Hobbs. O'Reilly's in at 10. Jarrett's in at 11, but then Yuta attacks him, and they fight off. And then Spinebuster eventually on O'Reilly, pretty soon after, as a matter of fact, 1, 2, 3. And then Renee gets in there to talk to Hobbs. And Hobbs talks about the fact that the last time he faced off against Jon Moxley, he got injured. Hey, Renee, why don't you tell your husband that maybe he should stop being such an idiot? Somebody needs to say that. Somebody needs to say that. So, package on Cage and Hook. Riccaboni is with Jeff Jarrett. Look, I like Riccaboni on commentary. They really should have just had Excalibur and Riccaboni calling it. Menard is god-awful. Fucking terrible. So, Jarrett is wondering if he has what it takes. Does he know what it takes? Apparently, he's a fan of Robin with a Y. Who remembers Robin, the pop star? Do you know what it takes in Show Me Love? That is really aging me because I remember that shit in high school. MJF shows up. He does the usual shtick. He does talk about how a lot of people are in the mix, but none of them can measure up to him. But you know what? Maybe there's a chance for you to win. But after some age jokes and the fact that his dad watched him when he was a little kid, how about I help you win it and you give me the first shot? And Jarrett kind of calls him a one-hit wonder. You may never get back to the promised land. I'm not buying anything that you're saying, you entitled prick. I liked what they did here. It was a nice little piece of business. I don't mind the idea of an MJF Jarrett uneasy alliance because it would actually be nice for Jarrett to get the victory, to get the title, and then MJF to win it soon after. Jarrett would get his moment of glory because apparently he only signed a 1-year contract. And if he signed it at the end of 2024 or even the beginning of 2025, whatever, He's done wrestling after a year. And he doesn't really need to wrestle anymore. He's like 55, 56. He can still work, but you don't want to stick around so goddamn long that you're like Ric Flair in his last match, which Jarrett was also part of. Anyway, all right, then on the last Rampage, which I saw some clips of, Darby fell down some stairs. And we haven't seen Darby since. By the way, it seems like the last Rampage took place a while ago. It took place just before World's End, which wasn't that long ago. And the rated R superstar Cope. Yes, the Adam Cope. Cope. Somebody said Christian should call himself Seethe. Cope needs to just have this finisher called the Mechanism. Mox, you shouldn't have come after FTR. You took out Danielson, you did all this, but taking out FTR, that's a bridge too far. I'm different because I broke my neck in a match against Eddie Guerrero, and what I do, I got back up. And then I broke my leg, against Malachi Black, and what I do, I got back up and wrestled another 10 minutes. Yeah, during a really stupid spot that nobody wanted to see him injured, but it was a really stupid spot. I'm kind of over Cope. I'm over Edge. Because I was there for his AEW debut. If he wants to do this stuff, if he's happy with it, that's fine. But it's funny, he comes back to WWE after an almost 9-year hiatus, right? Royal Rumble, does some stuff. And yeah, the pandemic happens. But during a match with Randy Orton, he gets injured and he's out for like 7 months. Now, granted, that was only like maybe 4 or 5 months. So he was in AEW in a ring probably for like about 7 months. And then he broke his leg and he was out for about 7 months and everything. The thing is now he's 5 years older. And I don't think he has a lot left. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't think he has a lot left. And I'm not interested in this feud at Mox. Because unless Copeland, it's stupid. I'm sorry. It's so fucking stupid. Unless he is going to be the one to take the title off Mox or cost Mox a championship next week, I don't know what we're doing. The Death Riders then show up. Pac is back all right. Here's Hubs eventually to make a save. This stuff with the Death Riders is dog shit. I'm sorry. It's bad. Mariah is talking in the mirror. Talking while there's a mirror behind her. And then about the roster needing to bow to her and, dance like puppets and everything. And then she's going to burn them. And weird. But then Harley says something. And she says, Harley, we're rolling. I know. And then she shows up and shows off. That's for sure. And they're going to have a match where it's going to be Hot Girl Grafts, whatever the fuck that is. This was honestly the breast view on the show. Look, I can't help it. They're right out there. I just can't. I don't blame them. Harley has improved. She's made the most of her TV time, and Mariah has been a tremendous champion so far. So, yeah, there it is. I wrote down what the fuck is happening is what I wrote down. By the way, they're going to have a women's battle royal next week. They're overdoing the Battle Royal thing. I don't mind them doing something. They have a number one contender happen, but whatever. Toni Storm, Chris Statlander, and Willow. They took on each other. It's a 3-way. The winner gets the number one spot in the said Battle Royal. They're going with the whole Tony's a rookie thing. They did stuff. At one point, Willow slammed Tony right into the Saturday Night Woo, and that must have really hurt. And eventually, a Tombstone did pin Tony 1, 2, 3. I didn't hate the match, but I'm kind of sick of 3-ways. So I zoned out a little bit on this. Sorry. I like all 3 women. I think they're all talented. I just am kind of sick of the multiple person matches. Man, woman, animal, vegetable, mineral. And Tony basically says, I'm clearly not ready. Omega's back on Dynamite. Basically, I'm gonna spoil what he said at the end after the whole thing went off the air, is that he is cleared to wrestle in AEW, just so you know. But he goes over his issues, getting 2 feet of his intestine taken out. Could have died if he had waited any longer, which, I know enough about people that have dealt with diverticulitis. It is very, very deadly. Doctor told him, Kenny, you may never be the same Kenny Omega that you were. I doubt the doctor said that, but he said return to a normal life may be difficult. He promises the fans that he would, work as hard as possible. And he worked in the Dome to test it out. Despite my issues with Gabriel Kidd being a fucking idiot, I thought it was a pretty good match. And then Don Callis shows up. And we have Fletcher, Archer, and Brian Cage showing up to beat up Kenny Omega and hit him in the gut. And Will Ospreay makes the save and looks like he's going to hit him with the chair, but he doesn't. He will not do it. Yeah. I didn't hate this. I do want to say also, and I probably should have said this at the beginning of the review, due to schedule changes over the next month plus, I'm going to be watching some Dynamites live. They got to fix their commentary situation, though, or this may go the route of NXT, where I just review it sporadically. Because I'm sorry, Menard is fucking garbage. Excalibur is rotten. They need have Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman call the goddamn thing. Come on, just have them do it. That being said, that is it for Dynamite. It was what it was, and everybody that is still alive in the Monkeys circle is probably pissed at what I did for the Last Train to Clarksville song. Nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Wicklund. I'll see you soon.